Welcome back. It's a sales video. I haven't made a sales video because each day it's been 160, 180, which is still good to get stuff out. But I list the stuff and I go off of a basis of what the pattern is of sales on the basis of what I buy of 90-day sale rate. Or there'll be some, maybe 5% of the stuff that I buy, media stuff that I buy, there's a tear peak history. So those I'll kind of include that can take a little longer to sell. It is much slower. I guess I can say welcome to the ebb and flow show. A little rhyming going on. But there's not really a whole lot on that. Again, so I'll go into real quick about the 45s. But here, there's 48 of the probably 600. 48. So of the 60, maybe 70 something that I had, that I got pictures of, after I broke down everything and looked and typed everything up, and then I made the decision, hey, these are the ones and then I did another kind of breakdown, and then I got pictures, and then I made the decision, these are the ones I want to sell. Everything would be in pretty much at least a good plus. The arbitrary type rating word system that they have, there is none for records. It's just new or used. So in the condition description, I just wrote very good or good plus. Very good to near mint to mint to like new. If it was something that's of a little higher value, for those, there weren't many, I just hit the brighten button on the pictures, and I brought things up. It did show a lot of the dust that was on it. I didn't realize how much static vinyls hold. Like, I got to use microfiber cloth to get the dust off, and any of that dust that came off just went right up underneath. It just got caught up on the bottom of the record. So there's kind of two parts on the record buy. One, I got them because they were significantly cheap for what I got. Even if I got 500 for 110 after tax, 111 after tax, that's still pretty much 20 cents each. My math, when I put the little picture up, 10K plus question mark, was me thinking that maybe each of them are 20 bucks. I had no idea. None. Because I never ever dealt with vinyl. So I bought the lot that I did kind of on again, like a twofold basis. One, to be kind of a category experiment. You're like, well, if I can go through all these and I can pick up a little on what type of genres can sell, or if I do want to look at 45s, or there's a place where there are a bunch of 45s, kind of look at things. Small caveat. I'm glad there's only 48, because in order to ship these properly so they do not get damaged, I'm going to have to cut down cardboard and tape it over, which makes it a whole lot more work than just flipping a CD or DVD in a bubble envelope. So ultimately, it turned out to be that there's 800-ish of 48 that I listed. That's, to me, that's not substantial. It's enough to where I'll obviously make my money back. I'll make my money back on just selling the lot of 100 or so leftovers that do have the picture sleeve. The other fold of this, and I've kind of hinted at this concept before in regards to buying large lots. Would I buy a pallet of media? If it was $100, maybe, but no. This is a prime example of why I won't do a pallet. The amount of work that you have to do. Granted, these were all already in boxes, but let's just go with a pallet of books or a pallet of mixed media, CDs, DVDs, audiobooks, video games, books, all that stuff. Let's just say it's a pallet of mixed media. And for anyone who's conscious enough to think that you need to keep things organized, or to like, well, I just can't pick one thing or a stack of something and just get pictures and list it. If it has a barcode, it's pretty easy to determine from there. But if I were to just buy one-off or multiple, and I have a video from back in the end of December, me kind of showing what it took for me to go through what was essentially 3 of these pallet boxes and how much I got out of them. So if I can use that ratio, and one of them had never been gone through. That one I found the better stuff in, but still, with everything that I got, I want to say I spent like $80, and I got this light right here at the end of it. So it was like $80 for all the stuff I got. That's about $2,000 listable. A lot of the stuff did sell pretty quick. However, it took 2 trips, because when I got there, I didn't have enough time to go through everything, so I had to go back there the next day, an hour round trip. So it was 2 hours, and that the first day I was there for 5 hours. The second day I was there for maybe about the same, and then come home and sort it, and then get pictures and post, put away, package, and ship. I was 12, at least 12, 14 hours for 2,000. If we do that, it's 14. That's still 100 an hour, but that's still a lot of work that went into 3 of these boxes, 3 of these pallet boxes, for a cumulative of 2,000 listable. So will I go to some place that they have boxes like this for me to go through and do it that way? Yeah, because I would have the opportunity to one-off. Now, if you buy an entire pallet, you also get stuck with all the comments. Now, when I was buying the stuff that I was buying, the stuff had a resale value of minimum $15. So when you're buying a pallet, you could end up with a lot of stuff. It could be way more, but if you look at 3 pallets, 2,000 listable, that's $700 a pallet. And if you're buying those pallets for $200, usually $250, $300 is usually what they range. A couple $100, and you're putting 5 hours into each one, you're working for free now. And then you'll be stuck with a bunch of comments, stuff that's $15 and less, 12, 10, 8. Yeah, you can get the pictures, and you can post and list them. They can sell. You're recouping your money a couple dollars at a time. Perfectly fine, but that's just more work for the lesser of the stuff. If it was an entire pallet of CDs, in that case, you're probably looking at 10,000 CDs. Yeah, you'll very, very, very much likely make a whole lot more. Just because CDs are smaller, you can fit more in there. And to me, in my experience so far, CDs are the ones that are more odd and obscure, that I'm likely to find something that's of better value in a CD, a music CD form, than a DVD or an audio. So that kind of example of that harkens to getting these records. So if you buy these pallets, you're going to be stuck with a lot of comments. Granted, yeah, you can put stuff up in small, loose lots and recoup your money that way, and recoup your money and find different ways to recoup your money, but now you're still working with the same inventory. A good example, and I believe I mentioned him a couple times, is 510 Books. He does this, but he also gets a lot of donations. He also has a large physical store. And I don't know, there's palm trees in the video. I don't know where it's from. However, he explains what he does that way. Everybody's going to do things a little differently. I just can't A, accommodate the space, but B, logistically just buy bins or buy big pallets of mixed media and expect to jokingly make my retirement on. You might net $500 for 3 to 5 hours of time. That's not bad. That's pretty good. That's what I like to do. It's what I like to kind of go for. I really don't just keep scanning and figuring what I'm getting during the day that, oh, this is going to equate to $100 an hour. Not really what I'm looking for in that regard. The main part, the main fold of this is that you're stuck for a while with a lot of commons. You can get rid of mix lots. If you do that, you can sell stuff to Declutter. You can sell stuff to the Game Exchange, and you're going to get tired of that pretty quick. If you have a physical store and you can put the common copies of DVDs and stuff at, and you can sell them for $1 each, you're doing something. But for the second fold part, to me, I could have spent the same time and energy going to 3 or 5 stores and getting the same stuff, the same kind of mathematical breakdown of what I got listable wise and the total amount of time spent at that point, and then later after pictures and putting away and stuff was still $100 an hour. The difference is that I had to drive to these different places, but that's what I do. For anyone who works, for the most part, you have to drive somewhere. And if you're a floating worker, I call them floating workers, people who go to different locations. I go to different locations when I go. Matter of fact, hold on. I've shown this before. It's my little travel calendar. So any day that has words in it are days that I got in the car and I went somewhere. So out of today is now the 18th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 2/3 of the days so far this month I've gotten in the car and went somewhere, got stuff. Myself, vast majority of other resellers, this is what we do. But this part has gotten way, way too long. You probably didn't come here for that. Let's go and see what's sold. This Divine Nectar book, $20. Unleash Your Dog's Potential DVD, $12. Walking with Dinosaurs DVD set, $35. The Royal Secession, $17. Paul Van Dyke CD, $12. And John O'Donohue Beauty multi-disc thing, $25. And Joe Stampley, this is one I got not too long ago, $50. Welcome to my usual ramblings and rantings, the former part of this video. Not going far, going up here, and I do refer to my calendar here. I haven't been to the Goodwill up here in Menor well over a week. It's right around the corner. It's 8 minutes from me. And I haven't been in the Salvation Army there. It's so hit or miss. And that's typical for Salvation Armies for some reason. I'll end up with this. I don't understand how all these thrift stores or across the pond charity shops get all this stuff for free. Put it out, sell it. And they can't afford to fix their damn carts. There's another sale. Alvin and the Chipmunks, $23. So that total now is $232. If you're new here, when I say a price for something that it's sold, I round up or round down. From 49, 50, 51, whichever, round up, round down. The total price that I say this is what it was. That's going to include any of the taxes if it's international. It's actually $192 product cost received, $232. So there's two international in there then. So it's not horribly bad. I'm making a sales video at least. But yeah, head up here to the Goodwill, the Salvation Army. I'll be gone 2 hours tops. Come back, see what I have, and see what I can get listed. If I don't have enough to make 25 CDs or 25 DVDs, I know I don't have enough in books. But if I can get something of those listed, cool. If not, I'll just do some self-similars, and I haven't done those in 4 or 5 days. And for the self-similars, I look at anything that has at least 3 views and is 3 months listed, old, and older. I'll click on the view count, and if it has 4 or 5 or more, I'll take it down, reprice it by about 5%, and then put everything back on sale. That helps me gauge to where if it has enough views over the time frame that it's been listed for me to take it down and reprice it. If I have something that's listed for 8 months or a year, whatever it may be, in total it only gets 2 views. When I go to take that down, when I go to do a mass takedown, I will put most of that title that I have in Terapeak, and I'll see if it has ever sold, see if it stands a chance. I'll price it to where it can sell. I will look at the date stamp, and I'll say, okay, well, I've had this for 8 months. The more recent, and I'll put Terapeak in a 1-year bracket. Let's see if it has sold for 1 year. Because if it hasn't sold over 1 year or around 1 year, and it's only garnered a couple views, let's see if it actually does sell. That I could try to get something out of it. If it never does, it gets completely taken out of inventory. That is just a way on how I do it. I do believe I have a video somewhere on how I call. I'll link that up here. So that's going to wrap that one up. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, thummy thingy, comment, sub, share. Those are all free. Helps me, helps you. Appreciate it.